welcome. Thanks again for coming here.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's your stay been in Malmö so far?
Well, it has been a journey.
Okay. Is that really good?
I haven't seen
go ahead.
much of Malmö. I mean, we had a quick boat tour, and this is like the only sightseeing I had since I was here, and we just see like walls.
The insides of a bus.
Yeah.
Actually, you're one of the very few people in the world that has an experience where you're going to appear on a television show that's going to be watched by at least 150 million people. I don't know what it is, like 200 million, plus all the people that are going to be streaming it. Like you can access it in the US now for the last few years. I just cannot imagine, and I'll probably never have the possibility to experience something like this. And you've been on some other shows before. I know you were on a few shows in Germany, but this is a really big one. And I'm not going to ask you the simple question, how do you feel about this? But how do you feel about this? I mean, what I can't picture what it must be like to be in the center of this spotlight in where the whole of Europe is watching you at the moment, not just for 3 minutes, but for this time and afterwards as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I like it. To be honest, I like it. I think I can deal with it because, you know, it doesn't disturb me to keep on focus on what I'm doing. I have a talent and a curse of hyper focus on some things, and so I don't really get like all the people talking around me, like in the whole world actually. But you know, sometimes I can just read some mails, some messages, and some comments, and there's a lot of love out there, and this helps a lot. I mean, there are also like lots of other comments, but you know, the love is always stronger. There are way more very lovely messages that I can read, and that also cheers me up. And you know, you don't really have the time to reflect what you're doing, because since I've won the German final show, I've just been on the run. You can't believe how often I heard that joke. Everyone, everywhere. But I didn't mean it as a joke. It was just the only thing that came to my mind to explain how I'm feeling. So I'm sorry. That's not my kind of humor.
Always on the bus.
Yeah, always on the bus. Yeah.
Always. Fortunately, there's very little traffic here in Malmö, so
yeah.
it's okay.
And yeah, the fact that you can't really reflect what you're doing, you're just in it. You're just in some kind of tunnel, and you're just going through. And I'm just functionable, and I'm just acting the way where I think that feels the best right now in the moment. You can really think through what you're doing. But anyways, I still believe that I'm doing quite well.
It's a good answer.
It sounds so sad.
No, it's okay. I think that I just, like I said previously, I can't imagine the pressure that's on you if you think too deeply about this, that, oh my God, how many people are watching this? When you appeared at the arena on Tuesday, this was the first time they've allowed the Big Six to perform in the semifinals. I'm sure you're used to being on a big stage, but it was the first time that we saw your song during rehearsals, and then we can see the whole thing. When you walked off the stage afterwards, did you say, okay, I did it?
No, it wasn't like that. It was more empowered. It was more like, I mean, I have my singers around me, and they're leaving the stage with me, and this is like a big moment of celebrating when we come down the stage. Because I feel very settled when I'm on that stage, and it's more that a lot of people came to me and they were like, well, I saw the semi-final and you kept on standing in front of the stage, like, and you stood there and you were done with singing. You you kept standing there for, I don't know, 10 seconds or something. It felt like you were breathing all that in. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I did. That's absolutely what I did, just standing there, taking my in-ears off, and just breathe it in, whatever is happening there. And there's not such a thing as, I'm not like, oh wow, I'm so glad that everything went well, because I don't know, it always does. And I'm not afraid of doing failures, and because I think failures are the things that make a performance complete.
Exactly, I agree. They always say fail once and then fail better next time. You're always learning as you go. And that's wonderful. I'm really glad that it sounds to me like you're in the moment and you're enjoying the moment, which is important, because we planned Euro Fan Café for months, and then in a few days it's just over. It's just a memory. So it's important to keep everything in mind. I understand that when Eurovision time comes around, suddenly everyone gets very nationalistic. Like they kind of forget maybe the rest of the year. They don't feel that way, but suddenly you're really supporting your country with special makeup, special flags. But you come from two different backgrounds. If I remember right, your mom is Icelandic, and your father is German. But you're representing Germany now. So which side? How do the two sides of your family pull you during this week?
Well, I think I have maybe the perfect mixture of the Germans and the Icelandic people, because I feel a strong belonging to freedom inside of me, and I think that's definitely a thing from Iceland, because the whole education system in Iceland is more like, in Germany it's like you gotta do something. You gotta do something. When you do something good, there are people that gonna love you. And in Iceland it's more the opposite way. It's more like, no matter what you do, just keep trying to find something that fills you with joy. And even though I grew up in the German education system, I always had that mindset inside of me because of my mother and the way she treated me. And I think this is the reason why I'm always that calm and that chilled, and I really love that I am the way I am in that. No, not everything.
So both sides of your family serve you well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You found a balance.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to.
When you've watched Eurovision in previous years, who are you cheering for, though? Are you cheering for Iceland, or are you cheering for Germany?
I always
or
cheer.
both.
I always cheer for the musicians that touch me the most. I think this is. I love every country. I love every country, and I'd love to visit every country in the world. And every country has its beautiful places and beautiful people. And I don't have that patriotism in me. I'm more like, we are one world, and it doesn't really matter if you're a German or if you're a Spanish guy or whatever. It depends how you touch my soul, and then it doesn't really matter where you're from. It just matters what you're doing and who you are right in front of me, and that's what inspires me.
Very good. Dr. Bertola mentioned that you were working as a busker, street musician.
I'm still trying to.
You're still doing it.
Yeah.
What did you learn from those years of busking?
You get some balls.
That's what you really need courage to be able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a kid, there were like many of situations where I was like shitting my pants in some situations where I thought, okay, I should be brave right now, but as the lyrics of what's his name? I forgot his name. 17 Going Under by Sam Fender. There's one line where he says, "I was far too scared to hit him, but I would hit him in a heartbeat now." And this is like reflecting all my childhood. And then I became a busker, and there were lots of situations where people were around me, and you know, they had a problem with me doing music there. Just for some reason, they didn't like it.
I don't know because in some countries it's quite. Some countries you need a license to actually do this.
Yeah, you
To
need
busk.
it.
In
You
Germany,
need it
it's
in
the same
Germany
way.
as well, but I never have.
What is it? Okay, I'm just curious. What does it take to get a license to be a? Is it expensive?
Usually,
you have to wait.
Usually you don't get any. I mean, you're allowed to busk in nearly every city, but not with an amplifier. But I never do street music without an amplifier because that is destroying your voice. Because you have to press everything out that the people recognize you, and that's why I need the amplifier. And this is such a good atmosphere when you have the amplifier, because it takes minutes until you have a crowd of 50 people, 100 people around you, and you're playing a concert without any organization, without any ticket selling or something. You don't have to plan anything. It doesn't matter when you're starting. It doesn't matter when you're quitting. You can just take your stuff, build it up, do a quick sound check, start immediately in less than 5 minutes, and have the best concert in your life.
And you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely
The
not.
will be, yeah.
I don't have a set list. I don't know which songs I'm gonna play. It's just, I just let it happen. This is like the thing I love the most about street music.
Would you say that participating in Eurovision is the total opposite of this? Because I know from meeting other people who have sung in Eurovision, their schedule is planned, sometimes down to 10-minute slots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it is some sort of opposite what we're doing here, but we still do the music, and yeah, for sure the schedule. It doesn't have to do anything with rock and roll. It's like it's just feeling like I don't know. What's a person who has to stay in time every time, like feeling like a manager or something. No, but I'm not. Everyone's managing me. But the thing is, there are a lot of things where I'm not quite comfortable with, because I'm more that free guy. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there somewhere around, and but
your intentions are good, but
yeah,
maybe you're not always.
I have my team around me, and they manage everything quite well. And on stage, I mean, it is way more professional than to busk somewhere. But anyways, you have so many rehearsals, and I mean, you have only 3 minutes. You hear the click going on, and then okay, it's now 2 seconds. Then I have to sing, and then you have 3 minutes. You have to give 100%, and you only have those 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, everything's over, and that's unusual. That's unusual. So you have to be prepared very well, and
and you're not dancing in this.
I'm not dancing. But we had so many rehearsals, so I know exactly where I have to go in what moment, and I don't have to think about. And this is some sort of, maybe similar to muscle memory, that you in every second of the song, now I have to go that way. But you still have, in terms of the way that you walk in, you have still the freedom to totally dive into your feelings, totally dive into the lyrics, into the song, because your body's doing everything else totally automatically. So you can focus on the music 100%, and you can be free in your singing and in your expression of emotions. And so I think at least it still has something to do with music.
But there is, being a musician, a full-time musician, comes with a certain freedom, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a boss. You can express yourself in any way that you choose, at any time that you choose, and in your case, as a busking musician, any place that you choose. Tell me, your career is much more than just this week here at Eurovision. Tell me about one of the songs that you sing regularly that means a lot to you, and why. There's no time limit. Take your time.
I mean, I have a lot of songs, and many of them. There's one song I wrote when I was part of a show in Germany, and there are like some reasons why this song is quite important to me, because it was a very tough time we had there, and it was we had COVID. I guess you remember. And it was 2021, and I didn't have any gigs or something. And then there was that show. It was some online Twitch show stuff, and I tried to promote my own music because I started releasing my music in the beginning of COVID, and then I was part of that show, and I got invited to the finals of it. And then they wanted to do a songwriting session with me. And I was quite nervous because I never wrote songs with other people before. So I was like, okay, I want to be prepared. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna go search for some melodies, maybe some lyric ideas, some chord progressions or whatever. And so I went to the hotel in Berlin, and I wrote some lyrics and some melodies and stuff like that. Then I got a call from one of the managers from the event, and she told me, well, Isaak, we have a problem. We don't have any English songwriters. You have to write your song in German. And I was like, well, I don't even like German music. And I was like, well, I have some ideas, and I wrote some melodies and stuff, and I have something like a song here, and maybe that could help me with the melody or with whatever. I don't know how professional songwriters working, so maybe we could figure something out. And they were like, okay, let's try it. And I just sat there with the producer the next day, and he was like, yeah, I heard you wrote your own stuff, show me what you got. And I just played the song, and the producer was like, okay, let's do it. And I thought he's gonna give me some feedback, something like, maybe you could change here and do that and do ba-ba, but there was none such of it. He just was like, yeah, that's totally awesome.
Was it the first time something like that happened to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because you were working in isolation during COVID and just in general.
Absolutely. I had no contacts to any professional producers or whatever, and it was just me writing and producing all his own stuff in my home studio. And the lyrics, they were about me, my life, and my wife, and that I always have like very, very hard struggle in my life. There's like, no matter how hard the times are, that I always have my wife who's like cheering me up and helping me through all those things. And even though there's like, it seems like there is no hope because we had no idea when COVID is going to end. And I had no job, I had no gig I could play. There was no money we were earning, and still that was like the most normal thing for her to be like, okay, yeah, this is our situation now, and we're gonna handle it somehow, and we're gonna do it somehow. And also, like, the fact that I had to go to Berlin to visit the show was quite extreme and quite complicated because she was pregnant at that time, and because of her pregnancy, she had to sit in a wheelchair because it was a little bit complicated. So I had to leave her alone at home with our younger boy, pregnant in a wheelchair.
This was your second child coming?
Yeah, that was my second child coming, and she was still the one who cheered me up, who was like, you gotta go to that show, you gotta go there, no matter what is happening here, I got your back, go there and see what you can figure out there. And that's the reason why I wrote the song. And at that moment when I wrote the song, I was like, wow, I think this is the best song I've ever written in my life, and this is such a good moment for that. And everyone of the whole songwriting teams, they were like absolutely amazed about that song. And that was the first song where we had like, this was my first million streams I've ever had, like on any song. And that was such a great moment for me. And I think without that song, I wouldn't be here, because that opened so many doors.
What was the name of the song?
Water to the Seeds.
Water to the Seeds.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's some story.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really comes from the heart.
Absolutely.
Combined with the fact that COVID took away so much from us.
Yeah.
And we didn't know, we lost control over a lot of things that we thought we had control over. you know? That's amazing. That's incredible. I know you're going to perform your song from this year after we finish our interview. Tell me, what does, when you say always on the run, it could mean many different things. It could mean that someone who's constantly escaping a problem that they know they have and they can't get out of. Somebody that is feeling they can commit to something. They think they can and they can't. What does the song mean to you? What do the lyrics mean to you? What do you think about when you're singing this?
You know, the interesting thing is the more I reflect about the lyrics, the more I understand them by myself, even though I wrote them. And there are so many things. For example, the very first sentence of this song, that was the first thing that came to mind when we started writing the lyrics. It was the sentence, "I am nothing but the average." And "I am nothing but the average" is something like, it sounds so small. It sounds like, yeah, it sounds so sad. You know, I am nothing but the average. I'm just average. But during the time I was performing the song over and over again and talking about the meaning of the song, I realized it's not only sad. I mean, it's not only that thing of, yeah, I'm not the greatest guy in the world, or I'm no star or whatever. You know, it's just like I'm just a usual guy. But on the other hand, it's also that it really calms me, because I always thought like there are a lot of things in my life where I thought everyone else around me can manage their stuff like automatically. They don't even have to think about doing stuff. And in the moment where I have to take care of things, what other people can solve in a second, I get totally overwhelmed. And I feel like an alien somehow. And
You're talking about everyday things or more?
Everyday things.
Okay.
Like everything, like a lot of things. And the last few years, I got to know a lot of people who felt in a similar way, and that helped me a lot. So it's also like peace bringing, that you know that you're nothing but the average. And so there are a lot of parts in this lyrics, also like being always on the run. It's like being on the run from my problems that I don't solve, but also like running to somewhere that brings me joy. And I don't want to miss one of them. I want to have the dark clouds behind me, because this is something that's running the engine, you know. And I don't know if I'd be that successful if I wouldn't have like the struggle in my life. And
well, success is very hard earned for most people.
Yeah.
You go through a lot. Many people don't appreciate a successful person has had countless failures to get to where they are. And successes too, but there's also those things in the past.
Absolutely. And I'm not quite sure if I want to come to a part where all the struggle ends, because I don't know how I would go further on that part. And you know, I have a lot of depression, especially like in the winter or something. But
don't come here.
Yeah. And
this is the worst. This is terrible. Like January 15th is like the worst day of the year. If you think Germany is bad,
you know,
don't come here.
You know, I need that. And I'm a little bit afraid of like going to psychologists, because I don't want to get healing for that, because I kind of think that I need that. I need that down to feel the up again, you know, and I need the melancholic feelings to write better songs and to help me through that time, and to come back again in the beginning of the next year when the sun's coming out again. And
Like
I think
now,
that's
you
just
can
a
see.
circle of life. That's just a circle of life, and I don't want to miss any part of this.
Fantastic. It's really. I've done a lot of these talk shows over the years and interviews with Eurovision contestants, and you're very special, Isaak. You have
Thank
very,
you.
very deep feelings, and you're not afraid to talk about them in really astounding ways. So I just want to wish you all the best for this coming Saturday. Everyone here is ready to support you.